When Arizona began the process of designing its state government, the model was similar to many other states and the federal government. In particular, Arizona's framers designed an executive branch that would have the governor at its head. The governor of Arizona plays an important role in the way our state functions. The governor is responsible for delivering a budget proposal to the legislature during their annual session. He or she is also the commander-in-chief of Arizona's National Guard, and the governor can call the legislature into special session to address a specific issue. The governor is also responsible for appointing judges to various state courts. Just like the checks and balances of the federal government, there are limitations to what the executive branch can do in Arizona's Constitution. For example, the governor can veto a bill passed by the legislature, but the legislature can override that veto with a supermajority vote. The governor, along with most other statewide offices, is limited to 2 terms, and like the federal executive branch, the governor can be impeached by the legislative branch. Another limit on the governor's power is that he or she cannot change a citizen initiative that has been passed by the voters. One characteristic of Arizona's executive branch is that it is what is called a plural executive. This means that there are several other statewide officials who are elected to the executive branch. In many other states and in the federal government, these positions are appointed by the governor or president. When Arizona became a state, there was a concern about too much power being concentrated in one person's hand, which is why the state constitution calls for these plural executives. In addition to the governor, the state also elects the following members of the executive branch: the Secretary of State, who is responsible for all state elections, the Attorney General, who is the state's chief lawyer, the State Treasurer, who manages the state's money, and the Superintendent of Public Instruction, who runs the Department of Education. The entire state also elects the State Mine Inspector and the 5 members of the Corporation Commission. Arizona elects its statewide officials in non-presidential, even election years. In order to run for one of the executive branch offices, you must be 25 years old, have been a resident of the United States for the past 10 years, and a resident of Arizona for the past 5 years. If the governor leaves office for whatever reason before his or her term is over, the Secretary of State is the next person in line to become the governor. The Secretary of State also stands in as the governor when the governor is out of the state. These statewide elected officials, along with the many state agencies, make up the executive branch of Arizona's government.